So in my opinion, Curt Doolittle is one of the most fascinating thinkers you can be following these days. With such fascinating, in-depth and, dare I say, holistic analysis, he is really somebody who deserves promotion and archiving of his ideas. So with that in mind, I've decided to start a little segment where I relay some of his posts or topics, or maybe even in the future translate his ideas, called the Daily Doolittle. And so here is the Daily Doolittle episode 1. This is where somebody asked him a question: if you have an IQ lower than 130, can you trust your own thoughts? Here's Curt's answer. Interesting question. Can you trust your own thoughts? Does intelligence mean you can trust your own thoughts? I have an answer for you that you'll find insightful. Intelligence generally translates to time required to learn. Now I'm going to step out of the answer very quickly and elaborate on that. Even Jordan Peterson has also confirmed that intelligence or higher IQ generally means the speed at which we understand and assimilate new concepts. So the speed of learning is an indicator of high IQ. Intelligence generally translates to time required to learn, although below somewhere in the 80s, learning even the most trivial of sequences appears nearly impossible. And below the mid-90s begins to become prohibitively costly upon those that teach. 10% of people are impossible to teach, and nearly half of people are very costly to teach. Hence the future problem of employment. Intelligence above 105 is largely reducible to a learning curve. At 105 or so, you can learn from instructions, repair machines, and express yourself logically. About every 7 to 10 points or so higher, it's easier to learn from increasingly abstract or less obviously related bits of information. Around 115 you can learn on your own. Around 125 you can invent new machines. Around 135 you can understand complex relations and synthesize them for others. Around 145 you can invent and reorganize existing ideas. Above that, I have not seen anything meaningful other than the ability to construct longer, denser sentences. For example, I cannot speak in long narrations like Chomsky, and I cannot grasp and translate ideas as fast as Terence Tao. And I have also seen the opposite, which is a tendency to place too much value on intuitions, some people who shall remain nameless, and given that I specialize in identifying pseudoscience, there are a vast number of theorists in many fields who do not know about which they speak. Those higher than you are not so much smarter as that they had more time to create vast networks of relations or associations, so the time required to identify a new pattern is shorter. The only way I know to improve your demonstrated intelligence in everyday life is to be well read or possess more general knowledge over multiple fields, and be lucky to have high conscientiousness as a personality trait. All fields develop systematic falsehoods, so cross-field knowledge is necessary. People in the 130s tend to specialize in synthesizing and communicating difficult ideas to those in the standard deviations below them, and you would find that most CEOs are in the 130s, just like a lot of professors are in the 140s. This is why the ability to articulate your ideas and make use of vocabulary is such an extraordinary proxy for intelligence. So here is my suggestion: no matter where you are on the spectrum, assume you're wrong until you can't possibly find an alternative, because that's actually what demonstrated intelligence means. So I want to reframe your question for you. There is never a reason to trust your thoughts, feelings, or intuitions for anything other than ouch, that hurts. Knowledge, like evolution, is the result of survival, not justification. No matter how good you think you're reasoning, the only test of truth is the survival against all odds. That's what being smart means, which was Socrates' whole point.